Hi friends, welcome to chapter 8 of class 9 CBSE from the NCERT book. This is called Motion. This is part 1. My name is Avantika. I have done this chapter in 5 parts because uh, a few of you wrote to me saying that the length of the chapters is a bit too much. The videos are becoming too long. So I have broken this into about 30-35 minutes of parts minutes each per part, so I think this will be more palatable to you, more easy to see, and you won't get bored very easily. So this is part 1, and this is we have moved on to the physics part of science, although it is not given in your book like that. Okay, so please pay attention, this is important for you. Please keep your books open, as I keep saying, but in this case I'll say it even more, because we are going to be solving some numericals and stuff. So you are going to need to write some stuff or to solve that, so that is important for you. All right, so please, so let's have your books open, have a notebook if you want to jot down extra notes, but have something handy in your hand, okay, to write things down. All right, so we'll proceed. So, firstly, the question comes to mind, what exactly is motion, right? So, motion is when an object changes its position with time. For example, I am sitting right now. If I start to move, if I get up and start to walk, then I am in motion, right? The fact that I'm also moving my hands, the position of my hand is also moving with time, right? So, that is also motion. So, the fact that I'm talking, the position of my jaw is it changes with time, so that is also motion. Any kind when the position is changing with time, that is said to be in motion. And you can see motion a lot of times, you can just see it directly through direct evidence. Like for example, if I start walking, you will see that it is, you can directly see that I'm walking, so that is direct evidence. But in cases such as when the air is moving, you can't see the air, so that you get through indirect evidence. For example, you see the leaves of a tree ruffling or the leaves of a tree moving, that happens when the air is moving, and then you can see the motion of the air through indirect evidence, right? The another case of indirect evidence is the fact that you can see sunrise and sunset, then you know that the earth is moving around its axis, that is why you can see sunrise and sunset, right? Seasons that you have can are because of the movement of earth around the sun. Okay, these are indirect evidences. You are sitting on earth, so you cannot see the, we are sitting on earth, so we cannot see the motion of the earth, but we can sense these, we can see these through indirect evidences. And there is also this point that uh, the motion that you see depends on where you are. Like you cannot see the motion of the earth because you are on earth, you're a part of the earth. If you go out into the for example, if you go out on a space station or something, you will be able to see the motion of the earth. Okay, so some objects may appear to be at rest or in motion depending upon the position of the observer. The roadside trees, if you are sitting in a car or a bus or something, you will see that, or a train, this is an example, if you are in a train, you will see that everything is moving backwards, but it is not that everything is moving backwards and you are stationary. That is what it seems like, but that is not the case. The fact is that you are moving forward and everything else that is at rest is seems to be moving backward, right? So this is relative motion. On the other hand, if you see that, if you see that train or a bus from a footpath which is stationary, the footpath is stationary, the trees are stationary, you will see what exactly is the case, that the bus or train is moving, right? But the trees or the things that you saw moving from the train are actually at rest. Okay, but if you look at the people inside the bus or the train, if you are standing at a footpath on the side, right? So that footpath, you can see that the bus is moving and the people inside the bus or the train are also moving. But when you are sitting inside the bus or the train, you don't see the people moving. You see that everything else seems to be moving backward, but you are sitting, the people next to you are sitting, right? But when you see from outside, when people are standing outside, and they see you, then they will see that the train is moving and you are also moving along with that, right? Even though you are sitting down. So motion is said to be relative, and generally motion is controlled, right? But motion can also be controlled, and uncontrolled motion is very can be very dangerous. For example, if on a road, if there's a car that goes out of control, then it can hit something, or that can be very dangerous if motion is not controlled. Or in nature you see hurricanes or flooded rivers or tsunamis, then that is uncontrolled motion and that can be very dangerous. But control motion for the same things also, if you have a river का जो motion है वो एकदम ऐसे ही randomly जा रहा है and there's a lot of water in it, then that can be uncontrolled motion, can be very dangerous, right? Flooding होता है, then there's a lot of loss of property and stuff. But if that same motion is controlled, for example by damming it, by using dams or for hydroelectric power, then you can see that the motion is beneficial, that it can help in the generation of hydroelectric power, right? So those, that is uncontrolled and controlled motion. So motion can be complex. It is not that somebody is moving then they only move in a certain way, right? Something is moving, motion is complex. It can be something moving in a straight line, or something moving in a circular path, or something is rotating like this, or something is vibrating like this, right? Or a combination of all of those things. For example, earth always rotates around its axis, but it is also revolving around the sun, है ना? So you see that there can be various kinds of motions, and they are not mutually exclusive. They can be different types of motions occurring simultaneously. Okay. We will learn to describe motion of objects along a straight line and through simple equations and graphs. Okay, this is what the chapter is about. So let's describe motion. How do you describe motion? Motion is described by specifying a reference point, first of all. Why is that? Like in the previous slide, you saw that motion is relative. So if you are standing here and if a bus is going in this direction, for you the bus is moving. Hmm? But for a person sitting on the bus, you are moving backwards and everything else seems to be stationary. है ना? So that is why you need to specify a reference point. If you don't specify a reference point, then motion can be very random. Again, for example, if we say that a school is in a village is 2 kilometers from the railway station, the reference point is the station. Okay, so for example, if you say that here is the railway station and here is the school, so this uh, distance is 2 kilometer. So this is the reference point. If it was something else, if you say that this house is 1 kilometer from my house, if this school is 1 kilometer from my house, then the reference point is your house. Okay. Motion needs a reference point to be described accurately, otherwise ऐसा ये झमेला हो सकता है that you don't know which point to sit on. You don't know how, if you are sitting on the bus and describing the motion, then you would say that trees are moving, which they generally don't do, right? It is the fact is that the bus is moving and you are moving, that is why you're seeing them move like that. So that is why a proper reference point is needed to describe motion accurately. Most of the times reference point may be chosen according to convenience. Now there is also one more example, simple example. We are on earth, we see the sun moving around us, right? We see that we are here, sunrise यहाँ से होता है, sunset यहाँ पे जाता है, right? So we think that the sun is moving around us, so because our reference point is the earth. But if we actually look, we can see that the sun is stable here and the earth is moving around it, which is why it looks as if the sun is moving around us. है ना? So the reference point depends on convenience. Since you are on earth, you will always take point of earth. The reference point will always be the earth. And if you are outside, if you are on a space station, you will see that the reference point is your space station. Then you will see different kind of motion. This reference point, which where you observe motion, is called the origin, right? Here the railway station. Here the railway station was the origin, and here, for example, the earth is the origin. Okay, that reference point is called origin. So we have to talk about motion. Firstly, we will discuss motion along a straight line. Okay, this is the simplest type of motion. Straight line from point A to point B without any diversion. Okay, is called a straight line. The smallest path you can take from one point to the other is a straight line. For example, we will look at this. Okay, here is the origin point. Okay, O. Okay, the object moves from O on a straight path, and it moves through C, through B, and it reaches A, right? It moves like this. Okay, then what happens? Then it reverses its direction, goes back to C through B. So from A to C, it moves through B. Okay, like this. The total distance that is covered here is, this is kilometers. Okay, so this is in kilometers. To A, it is 60 kilometers, and then it goes back to C. So it is 60 minus 25 is 35. So these are 35 kilometers. So 60 plus 35 is 90 kilometers. So 90 kilometers were total, covered total. So to describe distance, only numeric value is needed and not the direction. यहाँ पे it reversed the direction, right? It said that it moved in this direction first and then it came back. But we are not talking about the distance in the direction in this case. We are only talking about the total distance covered. So it goes from here to here, then this total distance is covered. Only the numeric value is needed. Only 0 to 60 plus 35 is needed. राइट यू डोंट से कि इतना ट्रैवल किया उसके बाद इधर आया तो वो डिस्टेंस कम हो गया नो 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 राइट इधर से इधर आया फिर इधर आया दैट इज व्हाई यू एड इट सो इट इज अ टोटल movement total distance is covered where only numeric value is needed the direction is not considered okay this numeric value of a physical quantity is called the magnitude okay the magnitude is the numeric value okay and can be described only by the numeric value. The magnitude is the numeric value. For example, how much was covered here? 90 kilometers, that is the magnitude. All right. Now, second point is, okay, now we consider this. The distance of final position of the object at C from its origin O is called displacement. What is the difference now? So 0, it moved to A, right? This was 60 kilometers. 60 kilometer cover kiya. Then it came back to C. So what happens is although it covered 90 kilometer distance from O, reference point here is O. From O, C is only 25 kilometers away. So even though the distance covered was 90 kilometer, the displacement is only of 25 kilometer. Displacement is the shortest distance measured from initial to final point, right? The distance covered is 0 to 60 plus 35, 90 kilometer, but finally because the direction changed and it came back, so the actual displacement यहाँ से यहाँ तक ही गया, it was 25 kilometer. So that is the shortest distance from the initial to the final point called displacement. You have to remember it is the shortest distance. Okay. Like, as I said, displacement is only 25 kilometers while the distance covered is 90 kilometers. Agar if this had happened that it went from O to A 60 kilometer and it stopped there. It just stopped there. So the shortest distance is also 60 kilometer and the distance actually covered is also 60 kilometer. So in a straight line without any change in direction, the distance and the displacement are the same. Okay, here O to A cut distance is 60 kilometer and that is also the distance that was covered. ठीक है. If the object had been back to B, for example, let me erase something of this. For example, if the object had come back only to B, yani it came back, so it went from O to A and it came back to only B instead of C, then kitna hua? This is 25 kilometer, right? 60 minus 35 is 25. So it covered 0 to 60 and then it covered more distance of 25 kilometers. So it covered a total distance of 85 kilometer. But since it came back, हाँ A से आया तो displacement from O is only of 35 kilometer. ठीक है, shortest distance versus distance. So displacement versus distance. Displacement needs direction. Displacement needs direction, whereas distance does not need direction. Okay. Also, very important to know this. If O से A गया, कितना 60 किलोमीटर हुआ? Distance, displacement, both. If it came back from A to O like this, then distance covered is again 60 kilometers. So total distance covered is 60 this way and 60 this way, 120 kilometers. But because it came back to O, so displacement from O is 0. Okay, if it returns to its origin, then displacement becomes 0. Okay, if we consider and one more aspect that you have to, I'll give you another aspect of this. ठीक है, आपने O से consider किया, O से A गया 60 kilometer and it came back to B, this is 25 kilometer. Now you look at displacement of the object from A. The displacement is 25 kilometer. The displacement from O is 35 kilometer, but the displacement from A is only 25 kilometers. 60 minus 35. Do you understand the difference? Distance covered is again for both of them it is 80, but displacement in this case is distance covered is 85, but the total displacement is different when you have different origin. अगर O से जाके A से तक गया and then came back, then the total distance is 60 this way and 60 this way. But if it came back, then since this object started from here and it came back here, then the displacement is 0. I hope you have understood this. So distance and displacement are both used to describe overall motion and to locate the position of object with reference to its initial point position at a given time. Okay. Now these are activities, right? So okay, this is important for you to understand again. Take a meter scale and a long rope. Walk from one corner of a basketball court. Basketball court is shaped like a rectangle. Okay, to its opposite corner. From one corner, from this corner to its, this is the opposite corner, है ना? So you move like this and you move like this. Okay. Firstly, if you move from here, first case देखते हैं. If you move from this point to this point only, right? So what is the distance? जितना भी उसका length होगा, right? That is the distance you have covered. What is the displacement? Again, whatever distance you have covered, whatever is the length of this area is also the displacement. But if you come from this point to this point here, then the distance covered is this and you're moving along the edges, right? यहाँ से यहाँ जा रहे हो, ऐसे ऐसे नहीं जा रहे हो. So this plus this will be the distance covered, है ना? This x and this y will be the distance covered. But what is the displacement? That is the shortest distance, which is the hypotenuse. Right? This is the shortest distance that is covered. This is the displacement. Whereas this is the x plus y is the distance, whereas displacement is only z. Understood this? Okay, this is another question. Automobiles are fitted with a device that shows the distance traveled. Please understand, this is the distance traveled. Such device is known as odometer. You know, आपके car में होगा, or in your scooters you will see this thing where you show the kilometer reading होता है. It doesn't count कि आप यहाँ से यहाँ गए फिर वापस वहाँ आए तो zero हो गया. No, that doesn't. It counts यहाँ से गए फिर वहाँ गए and it just calculates the total distance. So a car is driven from Bhubaneswar to New Delhi. Where is Bhubaneswar? Odisha में. To New Delhi. The difference between the final reading and initial reading is 1850 kilometers. कोई एक रीडिंग होगा इनिशियली, बट फ्रॉम भुवनेश्वर टू दिल्ली 1850 किलोमीटर्स उसने ट्रैवल किया. नाउ यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस इज द डिस्टेंस. रोड जो है ना वो एकदम स्ट्रेट नहीं होता. रोड हमेशा कभी इधर जाएगा कभी इधर जाएगा. इट विल टेक अ टर्न, इट विल गो लाइक दिस, राइट? So the distance covered is 1850. Find the magnitude of displacement. Magnitude is the numeric value, not the distance. They are not asking, not the direction. They are asking you about the numeric value of the displacement between Bhubaneswar and New Delhi using road map. मैंने ये आपके लिए कैलकुलेट नहीं, आई जस्ट सर्च ऑन द नेट एंड आई फाउंड आउट दैट द डिस्प्लेसमेंट और द शॉर्टेस्ट डिस्टेंस between Bhubaneswar and New Delhi is 1270 kilometers. 1270 kilometers and about 600 meter, but you can consider, so it is about 1270 kilometers or so. You will also see this in case of hilly areas. If you have been to the hills anywhere, you will see that the road is winding like this. It goes from here, then it goes, and then it reaches the top. Right? So if you start from this position and if you have to go to this position, you take a long winding road to reach this position. है ना? So this is the total distance you have covered, but displacement is only this much. So for example, this is only maybe 500 meter from top to bottom, uh, from bottom to top, but you have covered a distance of maybe, I don't know, 10 kilometers to reach that. So 10 kilometers is the distance. This is called as the crow flies. As the crow flies, ये distance कितना है? So hills में ऐसे ही होता है that the displacement may be lower, but the distance, that is why the time it takes to travel on hilly areas is a lot, because there are winding roads. You have to go idhar se udhar. You don't have straight roads to go up. If you had this straight road, you would have reached it very quickly in 500 meter, but that is not an efficient way to travel. So that is why this is distance and this is displacement. I hope you have understood the difference. So there are some questions. An object has moved through a distance. Can it have zero displacement? If yes, support your answer with an example. What can be the answer? Can it have a distance but zero displacement? Yes. When it moves along a path but returns to the point of origin, then it has covered a distance, but it has zero displacement because it came back to the point of origin. Right? You can give an example that when you go from home to school and back from school to home, then you have covered the distance of home to school twice, right? Home to school एक बार, then school to home, you have covered that distance twice, but since you came back home, then the displacement is zero. ठीक है? A farmer moves along the boundary of a square field of side 10 meter in 40 seconds. Now this is a square field. Okay, 10 meter, 10 meter. You know, square, to all the sides are the same. So moves along the boundary. What is the total boundary area? पूरा घूम के आया ये, पूरा ऐसे एक चक्कर मारा. So what is this? 4a is equal to 40 meter. He covered 40 meter in 40 seconds. ठीक है? What will be the magnitude of displacement of the farmer at the end of 2 minutes 20 seconds? 2 minutes 20 seconds kitna? 2 minutes is 120 seconds plus 20 is equal to 140 seconds. So in 40 seconds, he did 40 meter. In 140 seconds, how much will he do? We will use a fraction, right? 140 upon 40, this is 3.5, because 40 is one round. How many rounds in 140? You will get 3.5 rounds. He made 3.5 rounds in 2 minutes 20 seconds. समझ आया ना? One round, again you can use a unitary method, right? One round, so 40 seconds में one round, so 140 seconds में कितना हुआ? 1 upon 40 into 140, so that is 3.5 rounds. ठीक है, now he took 3.5 rounds. इसने यहाँ से चालू किया. Consider this point A. So he took one round, then he took the second round, then he took the third round, and then he took half a round. So इधर से चालू किया, इधर से चालू किया, and then यहाँ पहुंचा. This point, for example, consider it C. So what is the magnitude of displacement? This much, right? So even though he has walked this 3.5 times and he has covered a large distance, the displacement from A is only, you can use Pythagoras theorem to calculate this, because rectangle है तो 90 degree हुआ, so 10, so hypotenuse square is equal to p square plus b square. So hypotenuse square will be, p square is 100 plus 100, 10 square is 100. ठीक है, so hypotenuse is equal to under root of 200, or you can simplify and you can see that is 2 into 100. 100 का square root क्या होता है? 10. So hypotenuse is 10 into under root of 2. Under root of 2 is 1.414. So the answer is hypotenuse is 14.14 meter. So this is the actual displacement. Even after he took 3.5 rounds, he was only displaced by 14.4 meter. This is the displacement. Okay, do you understand this? Okay, then we come to the next question. Which of the following is true for displacement? It cannot be zero. Displacement can be zero. Distance cannot be zero unless you haven't moved at all. Huh? Displacement can be zero. So this is false. The magnitude of displacement is greater than the distance traveled. Is this true? No, it is not. Why is it not? Because it is the shortest distance traveled. So it is either equal to displacement and distance is either equal to if it is moving in a straight line, or it is less than distance. Okay, it is equal to or less than distance. ठीक है. Then we come to uniform motion and non-uniform motion. If an object covers equal distance in equal intervals of time, it is said to be in uniform motion. For example, ठीक है, now look at this time interval, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes. So within 15 minutes, A is traveling 10 meter, 10 meter, 10 meter. Any 15-minute interval you take, you will see that it has moved only 10 meter. This is uniform motion. It is covering equal distance in equal intervals of time. Whereas B, if you consider B now, B ने क्या किया? Time interval is the same here. Okay, it is both, it is 15, 15, 15, 15, 15 minutes. But in the first 15 minutes, it moved 7 meter. Then it moved 4 meter. Then it moved a total of 12 meter. So ऐसे uh, it is not moving equally. So in 15 minutes only, here it is A is moving 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, but B is moving any random distance. So this is uniform motion. This is non-uniform motion. Okay, understand this concept where equal distance in equal interval of time is uniform motion. Why I am telling you to understand this properly, क्योंकि बाद में एक और uniformity के बारे में आएगा. Here we are talking about uniform motion where distance traveled by an object in equal interval of time is equal. ठीक है, मैं 1 मिनट में 10 मीटर ही चलती हूँ. No matter where I am, I will walk 10 meter in 1 meter always. That will be uniform motion. But if I start walking, then if I start running sometime, हाँ, और if I start एकदम बोर हो गई इसलिए धीरे धीरे चल रही हूँ, so sometime I will move 10 meters, sometime I will move एकदम 30 meter, or sometime I will move only 5 meter. That will be non-uniform motion. Okay. So we measure the rate of motion. Now we have seen that you move certain distance in a certain amount of time. So what is the rate at which you are moving? So here you have seen when you watch cricket or something, you have seen that fast bowlers का हमेशा दिखाते हैं कि he has bowled at this speed. So what is meant by bowling speed of 143 kilometer per hour? It means that in 1 hour, अगर वो 1 घंटा चलता रहा, तो it will move 143 kilometers at uniform, when if it is uniform, right? अगर वो स्लो डाउन हो गया तो वो नॉन यूनिफॉर्म होगा. बट हियर वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट यूनिफॉर्मिटी, कि इतना फास्ट था कि 1 घंटे में वो 143 किलोमीटर जा सकता है. Right. And there is also the signboard. You have seen these signboards a lot of time. You have this, ऐसा होता है यहाँ पे 60 लिखा होता है या 50 लिखा होता है. Those signboards, what do those signboards mean? कि you should not exceed that much. You should not go at a speed more than 60 किलोमीटर पर आवर. यानी इतना फास्ट मत चलाओ गाड़ी कि आप 1 घंटे में 60 किलोमीटर से ज्यादा चलो. So that is the meaning of this. Different objects take different times to cover the same distance. Some move fast, some move slow. चीता फॉर एग्जाम्पल, चीता बहुत फास्ट भागता है, राइट? इट विल मूव 100 मीटर इन very quickly, like a few seconds, okay, maybe 10 seconds or so. But a snail or a tortoise will move the same 100 meter in a long time. It will take a long time to move that much. So they are moving at different rates. So they take different times to cover the same amount of distance. And some may also move at the same rate. Huh? So, for example, two cheetahs will run at the same pace. They will cover the same distance in the same amount of time. So one way to measure rate of motion is to measure distance covered by an object per unit time. Here they are talking about kilometer, and per unit time is in an hour. So these many kilometers in an hour. So rate of motion, so distance covered by an object per unit time is called speed. You know this, बहुत speed से चला रहा था गाड़ी, speed कम है. We keep using this term loosely, actually not loosely, but you know what it means. So this is the scientific way. It is the distance covered per unit time. SI unit of this is meter per second, which is how many meters covered in 1 second. Okay, this can also be expressed in kilometer per hour. Cars में वगैरह kilometer per hour use करते हैं, or you can also have centimeter per second, but the SI unit is meter per second. So generally when you are asked a question, you have to express your speed in meter per second. Okay, I hope you know -1 means that it is in the denominator. Raised to power -1 means it is in the denominator. Okay, चलो. Okay, so what have we learned? We are at the end of this first part. ये chapter ना लंबा है, that is I have done it in 5 parts. Okay, the explanations are in 4 parts, and the 5th part is the numericals, which are also very important. Okay, so and I have actually been told कि ये थोड़े लंबे हो रहे हैं ना, so I have tried to make these videos shorter. Anyway, so in this part we have learned that motion is a change of position described in terms of distance or displacement, and that motion of object can be uniform or non-uniform. Uniform motion is when the speed is not changing, when the distance covered is equal in equal intervals of time, and non-uniform motion is when the distance covered is not equal in equal intervals of time. In both of these motions, the intervals of time are equal. Uniform में बस distance covered is not uniform, distance covered is equal. Non-uniform में distance covered is not equal, but intervals of time are always equal. ठीक है? So these are the two main things we have learned in this part. Please watch parts 2, 3, 4 and 5 क्योंकि ये chapter अधूरा है उनके बिना. You have to learn all of them. Okay? चलो, see you in part 2, 3 and 4, 5. Okay? Bye.